There's a specific type of person, and once I show you how to spot them, you will never unsee it. They do something wrong, they hurt you, they screw up, they get caught, and then they look you dead in the eye and say, "If I hurt you, I'm sorry." And then they wait, like they did something brave, like they should get a fucking medal. Let's put that sentence under a light. If I hurt you. That word if is doing something evil, and they're counting on you not noticing. Because if turns what they did into maybe, into a thing that possibly never even happened. Suddenly, your pain isn't a fact, it's a rumor, an allegation, something you might have imagined. Here's how you know it's a con, and it's airtight. Nobody uses if for their own feelings. Nobody says, if you love me, I love you too. Nobody says, if I'm hungry, I'll eat. Nobody says, if I'm tired, I'll sleep. The if evaporates the second it's their stake. They know exactly what they feel when it's about them. The uncertainty only shows up when it's about you. When it's your pain on the table, suddenly, mysteriously, they're not sure it's real. That's not confusion, that's a choice. The if isn't an accident. It's a tiny little escape hatch they build into the apology so they never actually have to be in the room with what they did. Watch what they're actually doing, because it's genius in the worst way. They want two things that can't normally go together. They want the credit for apologizing, and they want to pay none of the cost. A real apology costs something. It costs you admitting, I did this, it was me, it landed on you, I own it, that's the price. That stings, and it's supposed to. The if apology is them trying to shoplift the credit and walk out without paying. If I hurt you, see, I said sorry, I'm the bigger person, why are you still upset? I apologized. No, you didn't. You negotiated. You put a hypothetical on the table and called it remorse. And here's the part that should actually piss you off. Half the time, they're not even sorry they hurt you. They're pissed that you were hurt. Big difference. They're not sorry for the action, they're annoyed at the consequence. You being hurt is inconvenient for them. You reacting is the problem. Not what they did, the fact that you noticed. That's not an apology to you, that's a complaint about you. And if I hurt you is just the entry-level version. Once you know the sound, you hear the whole species. Let me introduce you to the family. I'm sorry you feel that way. Look at that sentence. Look what they did. They apologized for your feelings. Not their action, your reaction. They made you the thing that went wrong. You're not the victim anymore, you're the malfunction. Sorry you feel that way means sorry you're broken enough to be bothered by me. It's an insult wearing an apology's clothes. Mistakes were made. By who? By WHOM? The sentence has no subject? It's a crime scene with no suspect. They pulled off a grammatical magic trick where the mistake just floats there, ownerless, like it fell from the sky. Nobody did it. It simply occurred. That's not an apology. That's a fucking weather report. And this is the boss level. The PR apology. We apologize if anyone was offended. This is the one every company, every celebrity, every politician reaches for the second they get caught. And it's the purest version of the lie, because now you can see the actual motive with the paint stripped off. They are not sorry. They got caught. Nobody says this because their conscience woke up. They say it because the sponsors called, because the show might get pulled, because the internet found the receipts. Half the apologies you see in the news aren't remorse. They're damage control. They don't think they did anything wrong, you can tell, because the apology has an if in it. They're not sorry they said it. They're sorry it cost them. Strip the if out and the whole thing collapses, because a real apology would mean admitting they were guilty and they don't believe they were. They believe they were unlucky. Unlucky that you heard, Unlucky that it trended. An if in a public apology is a confession that they do it all again, quieter next time. And here's what makes me insane about all of it. The real version is right there. It's shorter, it's easier, it costs one sentence. I did this. It hurt you. I'm sorry. That's it. Name the thing, own the damage, done. No if. No you feel. No mistakes were made by the ghost who apparently lives in their house. Would it kill them? Would it actually kill them to drop the if? Because they'll spend more energy building the escape hatch than it would take to just walk through the front door and say the true thing? But they can't. And now you know why. Because the if isn't laziness, it's the whole point. The if is them protecting the one thing they care about more than you. The belief that they didn't really do anything wrong. Someone who's actually sorry gives you a what? Someone who's protecting their ego gives you an if every single time. So here's what to do with this, because this isn't just a language thing. This is a person detector. The next time someone hands you an if apology, don't argue with it. Don't explain to them why it hurt. Don't help them get to the real one. Just file it. Because you just learned something permanent about who they are. You learn that when they hurt someone, their first instinct isn't to own it, it's to build an exit. That's not someone you cut off over one sentence, but it's someone you stop handing the soft, breakable parts of yourself to. You keep the receipt, you watch the pattern, because people who apologize with if will betray you with if to, if I let you down, if I wasn't there for you, always a hypothetical, always an exit, never once standing in the room and saying I did it. If I hurt you was never an apology. It's a hostage note, and you're the hostage